Hello, I'm Matt Williamson at Williamson NFL. Give me a follow. Check out my YouTube page. Do all that good stuff. Drop me a line on Twitter anytime. The offense bit back today. If you listened to yesterday's pod, you might be starting to get concerned about the offense. This was a very good first step. So, in case you missed it, the Steelers on Wednesday had their first padded practice. And unfortunately, Tuesday was a rain out. That was supposed to be the first padded practice. You don't get that back. That's gone. That Tuesday one, the walkthrough in the gym is as much as you're going to get. You can't just pull that forward. So Wednesday, padded practice. Friday will be Friday Night Lights. I'm not sure how I'll get a podcast to you after that or Saturday morning. Maybe wait till after Saturday practice and double them up. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So in between is the Thursday practice, and that just happened today. And because of worries about rain, they moved the practice from basically 2 p.m. to 10 a.m. Got it in early because they can't afford to lose another practice. Let's make sure we absolutely can get this in. So it was hot today, but it was not insane like yesterday. And they did not go to pads because Wednesday, padded practice. Friday will be a heavily physical padded practice. They put on a great show for the Latrobe audience and Friday Night Lights. It's a blast. So today, I kind of looked at it like, they'll probably just work on some fundamental stuff and it's not padded. So, maybe it won't be as intense. Not true at all. Not true at all. I don't know what the minute limit is in terms of how long you're allowed to practice on, a training camp. This is CBA stuff, but they went right up to it. I mean, they maximized every second they could to get a very extensive, long practice. So there was 2 or 3 periods to go. And I thought, man, this thing's got to be wrapping up. We'll get the team. And then they got more and more and more. So I thought they got an awful lot out of today overall. And the biggest takeaway, which is what we talked about yesterday, is the offense has definitely been getting pushed around to this point. Clearly the inferior unit. And as I told you yesterday, that's not uncommon around the league. Offense takes longer to click than defense. And oh, by the way, you're going to have a new passing leader. You're going to have a new rushing leader. You're going to have a new receiving leader. You're going to have some new pieces scattered around, and especially the quarterback position, of course. So their growing pains should be expected. But I also think the D is better than the O, and you have to start to worry, is the defense just way better, and are they going to have to drag this offense with them to 8, 9, 10 win season? Who knows? But I will say today, Thursday, was definitely a step in the right direction for the offense. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. With baseball season in full swing, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. We keep the dog days of summer rolling with the largest selection of odds on everything, with updated odds on MLB, UFC, and boxing, to tennis and NFL futures. BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, as mentioned, a very extensive practice, a lot of minutes on the field, on the grass. Now, you couldn't bang and tackle and things like that, so the line stuff was a little hard to judge. People keep asking about Broderick Jones. Frankly, I'll just address it now. I mean, it's kind of an incomplete grade for him because we've had one practice canceled. He missed another practice after an injury. When we did see him, it was non-padded, included today. So I don't have a take on Broderick Jones. Maybe Friday Night Lights, we can start talking about, man, Broderick Jones looks awesome, or he got crushed. But it was not an O-line evaluation type day. But they still did a lot of one-on-one stuff in the passing game. Like you guys know, backs versus backers is a linebacker blitz, running back pickup blitz drill. Well, today they did backs versus backers in coverage, where a back would release out of the backfield one-on-one against a linebacker with a ton of grass to cover. These are really hard drills for the defense. Or they would do a 2 versus 2 situation with like a tight end and a back or a tight end and a bunch set against 2 linebackers or 2 defenders. And overall, I thought the offense did really, really well. And they run these drills back to back with one-on-ones, corners versus corners. And Jonnu Smith would also be with the receivers and corners. I think Freiermuth was as well, but Washington and Hayward were doing the running back stuff. So they split the tight ends in half. Needless to say, the better receivers go with the receivers. Speaking of Jonnu, he was a star of the show today. And I listened to an interview with him, really well spoken. I really am warming up to this edition more and more. Very professional approach. He's always like the first guy on the jugs machine after practice too. He is a mismatch, and him and Thornhill went at it very vigorously. And there was some punches, or not punches around. There was some altercations today, and those Thornhill and Smith were the most notable. Spirited stuff. I mean, to me, these altercations were more, the offense isn't going to take it anymore. They're not happy with how things have gone. I'm sure Rodgers, the assistant coaches, the offensive coordinator, the head coach, all made abundantly clear that Wednesday's practice for the offense was unacceptable and embarrassing. And that's maybe a bit far, but that's how coaches talk to them and get them wound up, because the offense bit back finally. I mean, it was the first day. It was clearly the offense's best practice, and they bit back in a big way that this is not, we're just not going to take this laying down. You're not going to push us around for all of camp. And another star of the show was Ramon Wilson, who, the more I talk to people, I think that they're higher on him than I originally expected. Now, I'm not saying they think he's the answer or clearly going to go past Austin in 2 receiver sets or is going to be a star in the making, that they have this untapped stud. But I do think the buzz around the facility inside the walls is maybe more positive than I originally thought, or maybe most of you listeners would have gathered. And today was probably his best day of practice as an NFL player, so showed a lot. Now, again, these smaller receivers benefit from space. And never forget that. If you give these guys a lot of space to work with, the smaller, shiftier, faster dudes like a Wilson, like an Austin, etc., should be at their best. I mean, that's easier for them than contested situations, close to the ball, tight quarter formations against 11 defenders. But still, promising stuff. And Rodgers was excellent. I know yesterday I mentioned, there were 3 or 4 throws that I can't believe he missed. Well, he made 3 or 4 throws. It was like, ooh, yeah, that is a gutsy arm strength, precision throw of anticipating where guys are going to be. The cliche of being on the same page was clearer today with Rodgers. He threw the ball crisper. He had more of an aura about him as he has, where yesterday there was some obvious frustrations that he wasn't thrilled with him, his teammates, the offense as a whole. So I just wanted to make sure I got this to you. A little bit of a shorter podcast today. Chris and I are going to record our podcast later. Go check that out as well. I got a bunch of other stuff going on this evening, Friday Night Lights tomorrow. So I don't know exactly when I'll get back to you, but I wanted to make sure we had this discussion, especially after the -1 from yesterday, offensively speaking, that I feel better about it today. But let's not overreact. I told you that yesterday. Let's not overreact negatively to yesterday. Let's not overreact positively to today. Doesn't mean they're going to lead the league in scoring, but a step in the right direction. Thanks, everyone.